Hello, I want to introduce you to something called the Greenhaven Triplex Model. The idea is simple. One home, three households, powered by the sun. This is an owner-occupied housing strategy where the owner lives in one unit and the other two units provide affordable rental housing. The goal is to help address the housing shortage in a practical way, while also helping seniors, retirees, and mission-driven buyers create more financial stability. This is not about becoming a big developer overnight. It is about using one property wisely. One home can provide housing for the owner and two additional households. That means one property can become three housing opportunities. And when solar panels are added, the home can also help reduce long-term energy costs. That is the heart of the Greenhaven Triplex model. The housing shortage is a real problem, but the solution does not have to come from only large apartment buildings or government programs. Everyday property owners can also be part of the solution. That is why the Greenhaven Triplex model matters. It gives seniors, retirees, homeowners, and mission-driven buyers a way to create affordable housing one property at a time. The owner lives on site in one unit, which creates stability and responsible property oversight. The other two units can provide rental housing for families, seniors, workers, or voucher-supported tenants. This model creates income for the owner, but it also creates housing for people who need it. That is why I call it a housing impact model. It is about financial stability, affordable housing, and community impact working together. The Greenhaven Triplex model is built around a simple three-unit layout. The first unit would be the owner's residence. This could be the upper level of the home or the main private living space, complete with a kitchen, bathroom, bedroom area, and living space. The second unit could be a garage conversion ADU, possibly designed as a one-bedroom, one-bath rental unit. The third unit could be another lower-level or rear section rental unit, possibly with two bedrooms and one or two bathrooms. The exact layout would depend on the property, zoning, local building codes, ADU rules, utility access, and construction costs. But the concept stays the same. One unit for the owner. Two units for affordable rental housing. One property creating three housing opportunities. One of the reasons I like the Greenhaven Triplex model is because it can be especially helpful for seniors and retirees. Many seniors are living on fixed income, but they may still want more stability, more purpose, and a way to protect themselves financially. This model gives them a way to live in one unit while rental income from the other two units helps support the property. It can also allow seniors to remain involved in creating housing solutions in their own communities. Instead of just downsizing or struggling with rising costs, this model creates another option. It allows a senior or retiree to become an owner-occupant, housing provider, and community problem solver. That is powerful. It is not just about owning property. It is about creating stability while helping others. Solar is an important part of the Greenhaven Triplex model. The goal is not only to create affordable housing, but to create housing that is more energy conscious and less expensive to operate over time. By adding solar panels for the property, the owner may be able to reduce long-term utility costs. That can help improve affordability for the owner and possibly for the tenants as well, depending on how the property is metered. Solar may also make the project more attractive to lenders, investors, tenants, and housing partners. Of course, the final solar setup depends on roof size, utility rules, battery options, metering, and local regulations. But the bigger idea is simple. Affordable housing should also be efficient housing. That is why the model is powered by the sun. The Greenhaven Triplex model may be evaluated through several financing paths. One possible path is FHA financing, because FHA can be used for owner-occupied 1 to 4 unit properties, depending on borrower and property approval. Another possible path is conventional financing, especially if the property is legally classified as a 2 to 4 unit residential property. USDA financing may also be worth exploring in eligible rural areas, especially if the borrower plans to live in the home as their primary residence. If construction or major conversion is needed, then renovation loans, construction to permanent financing, portfolio bank loans, or investor partnerships may also be considered. The key is this. The financing must match the property, the borrower, the zoning, and the final design. That is why lender conversations are so important early in the process. The two rental units in the Greenhaven Triplex model can help support the property financially. For example, one rental unit might be a one-bedroom ADU, and the other might be a two-bedroom rental unit. Together, those units can create rental income that may help cover part of the mortgage, taxes, insurance, maintenance, and long-term reserves. But the goal is not just to charge the highest rent possible. The goal is to create affordable, safe, functional housing. That may include market-rate tenants, workforce housing tenants, senior tenants, or Section 8 voucher-supported tenants. A conservative model may estimate rental income at about 75% of projected market rent to account for vacancy and operating risk. That keeps the numbers more realistic. This model works best when the housing is both financially responsible and community-focused. The Greenhaven Triplex model may be a smart first step because it can be simpler than a 4-unit project. With 3 units instead of 4, There may be fewer design challenges, lower construction costs, simpler utility planning, and potentially easier property management. It may also be easier to explain to lenders, builders, cities, and investors. A 4-unit model can create more housing impact, but a triplex may be a better starting point for a pilot project. It still creates meaningful results. 1 owner household, 2 rental households, 3 housing opportunities from 1 property. For seniors, retirees, and first-time small multifamily buyers, that may feel more realistic and manageable. Sometimes the best way to build a larger vision is to start with a model that is easier to complete. The long-term vision for the Greenhaven Triplex model is to create something repeatable. The first property becomes the proof of concept. Once the process is documented, the model can be taught, improved, financed, and duplicated in other communities. Imagine 1 Greenhaven Triplex property serving 3 households. Now imagine 10 properties serving 30 households. 25 properties could serve 75 households. 100 properties could create 300 housing opportunities. That is how small housing solutions become meaningful over time. The goal is to create a network of owner-occupied, solar-powered, affordable housing properties that support both the owner and the community. This is housing built 1 property at a time. 1 home, 3 households, powered by the sun. The Greenhaven Triplex model is more than a real estate idea. It is a practical housing solution. It gives seniors, retirees, homeowners, and mission-driven buyers a way to create affordable housing while building long-term financial stability. The owner lives in 1 unit. 2 additional units provide rental housing. Solar panels help reduce long-term energy costs. And the entire model is designed to be repeated in communities that need more housing options. This is not about waiting for someone else to solve the housing shortage. It is about giving everyday people a way to participate. 1 property at a time. 1 owner at a time. 1 community at a time. That is the Greenhaven Triplex model. 1 home, 3 households, powered by the sun.